Rey Mysterio's WCW run redefined what it meant to be a superstar in the world of professional wrestling. As one of the pioneers of the cruiserweight division, Rey brought high-flying, fast-paced action to the forefront and left an undeniable mark on WCW. In this video, we'll explore the matches, rivalries, and moments that showcased Rey's incredible talent and innovation, setting the stage for his legendary career. Welcome back to Ring Chronicles, and we're going to just jump right into this thing. So we're going to get into Rey Mysterio's 1996 Bash at the Beach against Psychosis.
Yeah, this was in the early days of introducing the cruiserweights and Lucha Libre into WCW wrestling. It was very interesting having Mike Tenay there explain, oh, this is a Hurricane Rana or, whatever maneuver that these guys are doing. The thing is about this night was it was also the night that the NWO started.
Yeah.
So
it's not surprising that no one would remember this match.
Yeah.
Because it was completely overshadowed by the biggest turn ever.
But it was an amazing match. Now, this video is focusing on Rey Mysterio, and we're going to ask the same question we've been asking with some of these WCW videos. Did WCW make Rey Mysterio, or did the WWE make Rey Mysterio?
Right.
But at this point, Rey Mysterio is 21 years old. Although he had a lot of experience because he started off as a teenager in wrestling, he's bringing with Psychosis this Lucha Libre style. Now, Psychosis was every bit as good of a wrestler in ring that Rey Mysterio was. And they had their first match for American eyes in ECW. They both get pulled from ECW into WCW. They would have a lot of matches, but this match, it was special. Like I said, it was early on in introducing all of these elements, Lucha Libre, cruiserweight, matches, all into the WCW audiences. While the NWO angle would really kind of take over a lot of the stuff that was going on in wrestling after this is one of the things that was happening in the lower card and the mid card in WCW that was just great. And honestly, before I say what I was going to say, I'm gonna hold that thought to the end. But I just think it's important to mention now that WCW is who introduced Lucha Libre to the scene. WCW is the one company that brought wrestlers like Psychosis and Rey Mysterio in front of American eyes for the first time. Mike Tenay, years later, he would still be repeating the same thing about how important the masks were. It got repetitious, but at this point, when he's describing all these things, he's describing it to fans that don't know all these things and don't understand the significance of the mask in Lucha Libre and don't know that the move is called Hurricane Rana, not the Frankensteiner, and things like that. This match was insane. You watch Rey now, he's toned down some of his stuff because he's had to. I mean, he's like 50 years old. But Rey Mysterio at 21, my goodness. I mean, just go back and watch that match. I mean, there was stuff that you see in AEW now. There was stuff you see in WWE now. That match really helped catapult cruiserweight wrestling into the mainstream. It was an important match. Psychosis, man, he was like Darby Allin is now. He would put his body on the line. And this was something that was just unheard of back then. My only complaint about the match is I'm looking at this match and it's just a phenomenal match. And I think the fans at the time just didn't know how to digest what they were watching. They were relatively quiet compared to the amazing skill that was taking place in the ring. And I just think that they just, you probably had old school WCW fans that, are used to arm locks and wrist holds the whole match. You had new fans that were coming over, that were being, allured by the outsiders coming to WCW. So you had probably fans that were mostly WWE fans at the time coming over to WCW, had new fans coming in. And I just think they just didn't know how to digest the Lucha Libre style at this point.
Yeah, they just didn't know what they were watching. I mean, you wouldn't see that now. You wouldn't see guys putting on that kind of a show and the crowd would be quiet.
No.
You be getting the holy shit chants and this is awesome chants.
Fight forever.
Fight forever.
If you had the same match and you put it in front of an AEW audience now, they would be crapping their pants at this match. How phenomenal it was. Even by today's standards.
Yeah.
Okay? The match was insane. And Rey Mysterio was amazing. I mean, he's been amazing his whole career. I'm not trying to diminish Rey Mysterio's career. I mean, to me, the fact that he's done all this lucha libre style wrestling and he's still at the age of 50 able to do it, I mean, it's just it's insane to me. I'm surprised he's not broken apart from all the stuff he's done over the years. This was 21-year-old Rey Mysterio putting on a masterclass in lucha libre style wrestling with Psychosis. Also, one of my favorite luchadors of all time. Next match I want to highlight is at Halloween Havoc 1996, Rey Mysterio versus Dean Malenko. Cruiserweight wrestling, Rey Mysterio is doing the lucha libre stuff, while Dean Malenko is doing the technical wrestling stuff. And they're able to make it work. Yeah. They're able to put it together.
Yep.
Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio had several great matches, so this isn't the only one. More than several, actually. But this was a great one. Once again, it was the first match, and the fans were, I don't think, truly appreciative. I think wrestling fans at this time, they cared more about mic skills and big muscles.
Right. There was a lot of drama going on in the company at the time with the NWO. I think that's what mainly drew in the audience was the drama with the NWO. So when you put on a great match, it went, I think, unnoticed by a lot of fans.
Yeah.
So,
but it showed that, hey, Rey Mysterio can do any kind of wrestling. If you want to do technical wrestling, he can do the technical wrestling, still throw in the lucha libre, and just do all the great stuff. You know, Rey Mysterio is slowly building his own fandom at this point in wrestling. His music, his entrance music was just great. He was nowhere near the top of the card at this point in his career. He was still 21 years old. All right, 97, Halloween Havoc. Arguably, Rey Mysterio's best match of his career. Even though this happened in 97, you can still argue it's his best match of his career. And here's the important thing to look about this match. It was Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. Both of these guys were still at this point low to mid as far as how WCW treated them. They weren't low to mid in quality. They were among the best wrestlers in the entire world. But this match was so freaking good that even the fans that didn't know how to appreciate it appreciated this match. The fans were swept up into this match between two great luchadors. I forgot who it was. It might have been, I can't remember which announcer, but one of them mentioned that Eddie Guerrero was the first luchador to voluntarily take off his own mask. That's already setting up this mythology of who Eddie Guerrero is as far as his heel work. His heel work was so grand and so great that even as a face, he had to play the role of an anti-hero, lying and cheating and stealing, because we couldn't look at Eddie Guerrero and think, man, this guy looks like an honest guy after all this other stuff that he's done over the years. So Rey Mysterio is going against a guy that would become like one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time. Both of these guys have become two of the most beloved luchadors of all time. It was just a phenomenal match. I don't know what else to say about the match. I think Meltzer gave it 4.75 stars. According to him, that's like giving them 5 stars. If the match was in Japan, it would have had 20 stars. If it was in AEW, it would have had 90. It just, I don't see how you could give that match 4.75 stars. That's
silly.
It's one of the best matches I've seen. I only have one gripe, and it's a minor gripe about this match. There's only one stain on it. It was a title versus mask match, but Rey Mysterio is wearing a full bodysuit where you couldn't just take off your mask. I kind of felt like maybe that was giving it away a little bit, but Eddie makes up for that. And in match, he's like ripping off Rey Mysterio's mask.
Yeah. And
you get a really good look at Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And if and since a lot of us know what Rey Mysterio actually looks like years later, you could see you could see Rey Mysterio. The mid to late 90s was a great time for Rey Mysterio in WCW, but then the darkness came. Rey Mysterio loses his mask in a throwaway match where he teams with Conan versus Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, a hair versus mask match. And Rey Mysterio is forced to lose his mask. Here's the deal, okay? This is where I'm going to get back to my thought that I had earlier. Did WCW make Rey Mysterio into a star? Yes, but they almost ruined him. Did he achieve the same level of greatness that he did in the WWE? No, he didn't. He was a 3-time world champion in WWE. After losing his mask, they tried to push Rey, have him beating like giant big men, but it was a stain on his career, losing that mask. And look at how WWE was able to market Rey Mysterio through multiple eras, the PG, the Ruthless Aggression, the modern era of wrestling. Rey Mysterio is still marketable with the mask. With the mask. The mask is important.